Yo, what's up, YouTube? I'm another guy, and today we have Dr. Insanity. Dad reveals what? I can't spell. Dad realizes his daughter's body was found in a garbage can. This is wild. Um, Spoiler, I have watched a lot of like Oxygen, Snap Killer Couples, and Snap. If you know, you know. So I'm kind of used to stuff like these. It might be outrageous. Like I've heard like a lot of crazy stories watching those stuff. But we're gonna see what this one is all about.
Whoa! Yeah. Gun? There's all sorts of blood in here.
Wow! Oh my god! Bro, there's a dead body! Search for Welcher on a missing woman.
Is that home? What? You here?
Police are at the home of Keith and Amber Zotto. Amber's mother, Betty, had called 911 earlier that day, asking officers to check on her daughter.
But obviously
Amber hadn't responded
to
any calls or messages in 2 days, and Betty feared the worst. The officers arriving at the scene initially expected a routine missing persons call, but what sat inside the house would be far more twisted and disturbing than anyone.
Bro, what the hell? I want to die? Yo, this is already crazy. This is already get like very like to a high level scary.
Could have imagined.
Show me your hand! I got the dog. Get off the ground! He's reaching!
Stop!
When police first arrive at the Zotto home, they encounter something strange. Only Keith and Amber's children answer the door, claiming their parents are gone and they don't know when they'll be back. This alarms the officers, so they decide to call Betty, the person who originally dialed 911, hoping she can shed some light on the situation. But what Betty reveals to officers would quickly transform this simple welfare check into one of the town's most disturbing mysteries yet.
Minesville Drive? That's Florida. Unless, obviously, they probably have it somewhere else, but...
Hello?
Betty, it's Officer Crowley, Aurora Police Department. I'm at the Milan Circle address. I'm talking to the kids. What's your relation to this family, just so I know?
I'm their grandma. She didn't take her truck because you can see it in the driveway.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Her phone, the bank card is still in the house.
Yeah. Betty, how many times do you think she's done that?
Well, she's come over to my house. Oh, 3-4 times this year.
All right.
But it's always been for a day.
So what I'd like to do is start where we always start, and that's the last place she was seen. I don't want to ask these kids for permission to go in the house, so I may have to call your son-in-law, talk to him on the phone, and see if he'll give me permission to go inside.
So the
Betty
officer
would mention
basically
that
just
she had been to the house
trying to
earlier
find
that
out
day and noticed a few strange
what's happened.
details.
Like he wants to,
Amber's
you know,
car was still
as
in the
they say,
driveway of the
conduct a
home,
welfare
and her
check.
phone was left inside the house, as well as all of her credit cards and important documents. These
she's
minute
gone.
details would prove to be much more important later on.
Once you hear that credit card is there, phone is there, those are like necessities. Yeah, she's gone. Sad, but she's gone.
Shortly after this call, Betty and her husband Ronald arrived at their daughter's home to meet with the police. It's here where Betty would reveal what she believed really happened to her daughter.
Hey, I'm Officer Crowley. Thanks for coming out. So I called him, but I left him a message. He didn't pick the phone up. So I can't just go inside without a warrant. I either need a warrant or permission to go inside the house. And that's not your residence, and I can't ask you for permission. Obviously, the kids are too young for me to ask for permission. So just want to do it the right way before anything else, if that makes sense.
Yep.
When's the last time that you saw the dog?
Saturday afternoon when I came to pick up the kids. They spent the night with me Saturday night.
Was there any problems at that point, or was it just pick the kids up? The kids are going to stay at our house for the weekend?
Everything was fine. She said, I hope you feel better. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Had there been any drinking at that point? Here
They drink in the evening. kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, this is spookylicious. Spooky. I smell a ghost.
And then no sign that there had been any argument or anything
No.
like that. Okay. As you can see, I don't
No,
want you to
that's
think
all
that I
right.
jumped any conclusions, but I'm just trying to put like a kind of a piece of timeline and kind of behavior as well too.
According to Betty, the family typically had dinner together on the weekends, and although Keith and Amber occasionally argued, things never turned physical, at least not to her knowledge. But with no parents home, officers still couldn't legally enter the residence, so they continued speaking with Betty, hoping she'd reveal something that could explain Amber's sudden disappearance. Betty explained that Amber was highly active in the community, volunteering at her children's elementary school as the treasurer of the parent organization, and everyone around town knew her as a family-first mother, spending most of her time with her children. That's why Amber's disappearance was so puzzling. It simply wasn't like her to spontaneously leave her kids alone. But this confusion
first
would only
alarming
heighten
sign
when Betty showed officers something that made the case
she's gone.
even more unsettling. A note suggesting Amber might have harmed her.
This is the crazy part. Even if I say I want to die, let it happen. Please. It is what is best for you and our children. Everyone would be better off it. I wasn't here. Everyone would be better off if I wasn't here. Bro, whoever wrote this, oh my God. Nasty work. This is terrible penmanship. And my penmanship is not good, but my goodness. Like, no space. Like, look at this. Would is right beside B. Like, is there a word? One word would be? It's crazy. They're creating words out here. If I. Oh, man. But on a serious note, this is crazy, though. I wonder what's going through their mind. I wonder what's happening. But that's what we're trying to find out.
Herself.
The note is what concerned
Do you mind if I read that?
I don't have a problem with
Is this
it.
a copy of it or is this?
Yes, I made a copy. I don't know. This is the original.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
Just from my report, I'm going to have to take the original for evidence for property at some point, okay?
Okay.
But I'm going to sit and read this in the meantime.
The note Betty had discovered earlier read in.
So let's read the rest of it. I haven't been the best wife. I deserve everything. And what at the horrible thought you think of me? I have always had mind. Make sure my mom has to identify my body. Everyone would be better off without me. This is sus. It's either two things. It's either the person that took her life wrote this, or she actually wrote this. But still, whoever wrote this, they're obviously like writing was not their strong suit.
In part.
I haven't been the best wife. I deserve everything and all the horrible thoughts you think of me. I have always had it in my mind. Make sure my mom has to identify my body. Everyone would be better off without me.
At first glance, the note appears as a tragic, heartfelt goodbye. Amber seemingly detailing years of self-doubt, despair, and emotional pain. But something about this note didn't align with what police knew about Amber.
It's just
According
sus.
to her mother,
Like-
whenever Amber
It sounds very sus to me. Like, I'm not even a cop, but reading that, like, a woman with kids who love her kids would write a note like that?
and Keith fought, Amber always stayed at her parents' house and had never just disappeared. Certainly not without contacting her family first. And although Betty clarified that her daughter had a history of self-harm ideation and emotional struggles, the note's tone sounded off, especially the disturbingly specific instructions for her own mother to identify her body, which seemed strangely cruel. To investigators, these unusual details hinted at the chilling possibility that the note wasn't exactly what it appeared. They began to suspect Amber might not have written these words freely. Something wasn't right.
Or that's the third possibility. She was forced into writing it.
So based on these signs, officers
Does Alice
decided to
wrote
speak with
herself?
Betty again.
Someone
this
in-
time on the
wrote
oddities
it?
found inside the note.
As
Do you
if
think it's
they
something
were
that
Amber,
would he harm her
or
in
she
any
was
way?
forced
Did you have any
coerced.
either information or inkling that that might happen? No. Okay. If she had walked away, I mean, I'm just wondering where else or how far she could have gone.
She has walked to our house. We're in 70
Yeah.
So they don't live too far from the
Um,
mother then.
when she's been drinking and can't work.
I understand. Of course.
So she's made
I
it that
agree.
far.
That's why I'm so concerned. too.
And that's where,
Yeah.
that's why I searched Sunrise Park, because that's the closest park to here. And I don't know why in my head it's, you're not gonna do it in your home. You might do it too,
Yeah.
Betty would also find the note strange, but doesn't think Keith would have anything to do with Amber's disappearance.
what you think.
At this point, nothing makes sense.
Never know.
So,
In
without
these
any further
situations,
clues,
you
officers
never
decide
know.
to move to the next step in their investigation, searching
I've seen
the
some
property.
crazy things.
As
like
we know,
watching
without the
Snap
homeowner's
kill a
permission,
couple
officers
Snap,
still can't go inside the house without a
fatal
proper search
attraction or
warrant.
oxygen.
Fortunately,
like
by
you
using
see
the
some
kids, they were able to get on the
crazy
phone
things.
with Amber's husband, Keith, hoping to get the permission they needed.
Dad?
The cops are here and they want to talk to you.
Is this Keith?
Yes, this is Keith.
Keith, this is Officer Crowley with the Aurora Police. How are you?
I'm alright, boss. How are you?
I'd like to go over a couple series of events and then ask you for permission if I could go inside your house. And where we start searches is the last place she was seen, and that would be your house. But I don't have a warrant, and I'm asking you for permission to go inside your house too.
Go ahead, man.
Luckily, Keith seemed to have no problem letting officers search his home. While one officer continued his conversation with Keith, another would immediately
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses. But I have no idea how to make...
begin.
Hey, brother, Keith. If you did it, and you just sent a police in your home, make sure you don't have any evidence. They're gonna wipe that shit down clean. Don't take those police searches for a joke. They are gonna scrub that down to the foundation of that building or house.
searching the property, completely unaware they were both minutes away from uncovering the horrifying truth. But before we continue,
You know, see, I wonder sometimes if they like actually think. So, all right, let's just watch.
it's
Let's
worth
just
noting
see.
that
Let's not
covering
jump to
stories
any
like this,
conclusion.
you realize
Let's
just how
just
much people
see.
are forced to carry. Fear, trauma, even the day-to-day burden of surviving. And sometimes that weight shows up in other ways too, like debt. Do you feel crushed by debt? Those high-interest loans, that mountain of credit card debt, or even the overwhelming medical bills? All the debt that has been keeping you up at night could be gone quicker than you think. Imagine being debt/insanity. With that said, let's get back to the investigation. One of the officers was about to search the family's home, with no idea just how close they were to discovering the gruesome scene hidden in plain sight.
So Keith gave verbal consent for us to go in the house. I'm just gonna go in. If you want to come with me,
I will,
because I'd like you to show me.
God.
Okay. Where did you find the notebook?
In the garage.
In the
That's why
garage.
they
Okay.
literally live there.
Okay, let's start there then.
So Keith, in a bigger picture, what's going on?
Man, me and Amber drink a lot, and we fight a lot, and she likes to walk away, or actually drive away, and I took her keys.
Red flag. I don't have one, but hey, that's a red flag talking to the officer right there. Especially when detectives come in. You drink a lot. You guys fight a lot. Red flag. You're number one like person of interest right now. They don't have evidence or anything to tie you to anything. So right now, I don't think you're a suspect in their minds. At least this is an officer. They haven't found anything yet. I'm sure when they find a body, the detective is gonna come in.
summer, so she couldn't drive away. She grabbed her purse, slammed her phone on the ground, and left. And I have not seen her since.
Did you actually see her leave, or you just assumed she left?
No, sir. I begged her to stay on the couch. We fought a little bit more. And
That don't even sound right.
Sleep out here on the couch. I'm going inside. And I went inside. I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then when I woke up at 9, 10 o'clock Sunday morning, there was a letter on the fucking coffee table.
Has she ever threatened to hurt herself in the past, or was this? Oh, she has.
The last 5 years, it's been a go-to. And that's what I try telling Grandma and Grandpa, too, is she does this to me all the time, almost every weekend. She'll leave, and then she won't come back till Monday or Tuesday. And then my kids get all mad at me because I let her back in.
I hope you don't mind me asking you personal questions, but is it possible she's seeing somebody else and she stays there?
Oh, for sure she is. She's been, that's another thing. That's why we fight all the time. She's been seeing somebody for about 5 years now.
Keith, bro. You're dumb bad, bro. You are dumb bad. You got yourself into a sticky situation. So potentially there's a love triangle. But before we get into that, you have a woman that you knowingly is cheating on you, living in your house. So the question from here is, are you guys together? Bro, Keith, you're dumb bad, bro. Sympathitis has won again.
And she don't pay our bills.
I already see the path where this is going. And I can tell you that sympathitis has won again.
That's why we always fight, man.
Based on Keith and Betty's statements.
Not like how you have hepatitis? Yeah, sympathitis. It's one again.
Both were aware Amber had struggled emotionally in the past, but neither realized just how serious the situation had become or how tragically wrong their assumptions would soon turn out to be.
Where exactly was the book when you found it?
Right here.
Okay. And you recognized her handwriting?
Yes.
Okay.
It's unmistakable.
Okay.
Scratch.
Okay, this argument, I mean, you guys are arguing about her seeing somebody, or were you guys arguing about lots of stuff?
Well, that always comes into play, but this particular argument was about her not paying my mortgage for 6 months. I give her all my money. I just cash my check and she pays all the bills. And lately she hasn't been paying our bills.
Hey, Keith, did it get physical at all, or was it just arguing?
Yeah, we've been physical a couple times, but I want to say Saturday night, no.
You know, this is a fair question. Is there any chance that you hurt her in any way?
I fucking hope not, dude. I fucking hope not. But yeah, there's a possibility. I mean, I'm hoping not, but like I said,
Bro's literally sinking himself. Literally digging the grave, bro. While you're at it, go ahead and throw the headstone over it. Yeah.
I said I don't remember
Makes
shit.
sense.
Me and Amber go through this shit all the time, and she always comes back.
Okay.
The only thing I'm worried about is she always goes to her fucking mom's.
You telling the police that is not actually clearing you. What they're having in their mind is that, okay, you're probably like actually 50% to do with her disappearance. Because this is a dysfunctional relationship at best. Like, at best. There's a love triangle involved that you know about. And you guys always fight a lot. Plus drinking. Yeah.
Oh, she doesn't go anywhere. She does go somewhere else, but she always
Guy
ends
digging
up at
a
her mom's
big
house.
hole for himself.
Listening carefully to Keith's account, the officer initially found him credible as he described an argument about money and Amber's alleged infidelity. But the officer's concern grew when Keith admitted he'd been heavily intoxicated and couldn't remember if things turned physical. Suddenly, the possibility that Amber hadn't actually walked away became disturbingly real. Officers now suspected more clues were hidden inside the home. A drunken fight, maybe getting physical. Whatever happened, the answers were likely somewhere inside.
He gave me permission. I have it on my My body camera recorded it, okay? He gave me full permission to look in the house, so. Are these guys?
They let them out.
Are they generally friendly?
Normally, yes.
Okay, good. Just cause, did we look in there?
It doesn't open.
It doesn't look like it's been disturbed because there's debris on the top of it, but you want to work on opening it?
Yeah. Gloves.
As officers continued their search, their body language indicated something was off. Careful not to alarm the family, neither officers openly acknowledged it yet, but they both recognized the unmistakable stench hanging in the air, the odor of decay. At this point, the only thing they were looking for was the source of that disturbing smell.
I've never smelled a dead body, but like how they describe smelling a dead body, it sounds like someone defecated on top of defecated, squeezed it together, then defecated some more on top of it. They put some more defecation on top of it, then some more, then some put some horse defecation, then some goat defecation. I'm talking about defecation too much. It probably be annoying right now, but that's how they describe smelling a dead body. So, officers' nose are in tune to that.
Is that finished off up top? Is it kind of like a flash?
No, it's just that.
Hang it. It's right here.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gun.
Oh.
Magazine.
They found a gun. Bro, Keith. You send officers into your home with evidence basically in plain sight. You're telling me that you're thinking they wouldn't have searched the garbage bins? This guy left a gun in the garbage bin? Bro, if you're gonna commit crimes and be this stupid, better off you don't do it. Better off you don't do it. Because this right here is just full stupidity. You're not even making the officers work in the garbage bin? Absolutely incredible.
Okay. Do we want to call someone? Yeah.
1 second.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
We'll have you stay inside, please.
1 second. She's in there.
You can't get any dumber than this, bro. This man, I'm not surprised, honestly. Honestly, because I've heard yet. But this man, or whoever it is, killed this woman, left the gun and the body itself in the garbage bin. So, what do you think is gonna happen now? Maybe you didn't want to go to prison. Honestly, maybe you did want to. Maybe, hey, this is your prison break moment. I see it now. I see it. Search workers. Maybe he has a brother in prison who has been accused, not even apprehended, but like locked up under false pretense basically been set up, locked up, and he committed a crime, literally had the evidence out there so that he would get caught, so he can break his brother out of prison. This is the only way to justify this, because the gun was in the garbage bin, in the garage, with the note. Bro. And it is disturbing.
Inside the trash can in the garage was a gun, and underneath that was Amber's decaying body with a gunshot wound to the head, discarded with the rest of the garbage. This was now a crime scene, and police immediately began to suspect that this was far from self-inflicted.
But when I searched the house, my fear was, something funky. I looked in that trash bin.
Okay.
There was nothing in it.
Well, when was that? When did...
I was here about 9 a.m.
Okay.
There was not... I would have noticed that.
Okay.
The top was the carpets, and because of the smell, I literally find
I'm just going to
too many
see here.
forensic files. It was not there. So somebody's been here.
Okay.
And the kids were sleeping, and they are unaware of being here.
Okay.
But so somebody
Okay.
did that.
Okay.
Ready? Partner, what's your first name? Ron. Can you get the kids and just go wait in your house?
Strangely, although Betty had noticed the same foul odor of decay earlier, she didn't realize its implications, instead believing, or perhaps choosing to believe, that all this concern was simply because of the firearm police discovered in the trash can. Betty didn't know it yet, but her statement would soon cast serious suspicion on her, making detectives question whether she herself had played a role in Amber's death. For now, though, officers had to secure the area and move Amber's family away from the gruesome scene.
I don't want the kids to see.
I mean, this isn't nice. So if you lift here, I mean, obviously there's a gun there, but if you lift here, you can see her foot. She weighs about 160, 170 pounds. Right there, where your hand is. See, there's the body. Yeah. So I called Reno. He's calling MCU, and I know he sent you too.
While officers waited for the Major Crimes Unit to arrive and process the scene for forensic evidence, they began to grapple with several troubling inconsistencies surrounding Amber's family. Keith had admitted to being heavily intoxicated the night Amber disappeared. He couldn't say for certain whether his argument with Amber had turned violent, only that things had gotten heated, and that much of the night was a blur. But Keith wasn't the only one officers considered a suspect. Amber's mother, Betty, claimed she had checked the
They got her wrapped up in it because basically she's claiming that nothing was in the trash can earlier, but yet still the body was decaying and stuff. So I don't know, but basically they have her on
earlier that morning and had seen no sign of Amber's body or the gun. Yet, just hours later, both appeared right there in plain sight, exactly where she swore she'd already searched. Even stranger to officers was Betty's demeanor. Despite the horrifying situation unfolding around her and the possibility that her daughter had taken her own life, she remained unusual.
I peeped it too, but sometimes, because I was listening to them, but I actually peeped it like she wasn't like emotional or anything. Like she was just, was like kind of stone faced. Like I checked the bin earlier and nothing was there. Someone was there. It was like, it's like reporting a robbery. She treated it like reporting a robbery, like your jewelry got stolen or your money got stolen, and you're reporting it like that. And we're talking about her daughter potentially being found dead. And it's like no emotion, like nothing. And again, you don't know if it's shock or anything, but it's like, yo, it's nothing. And by all means, even if she did show emotion, a lot of people kill people, or you see what I'm saying? Okay, right after, those people are like vile, absolutely vile, evil, covetous. But yeah, she's showing nothing.
Really calm, at times
kinda weird.
even casual. And then there was the note. Supposedly written by Amber, its wording struck
Which she
investigators
brought
as strange,
to the
too
officers.
composed, almost performative. Still, in a situation as dark and desperate as contemplating suicide, people sometimes write in ways that defy logic or expectations. At this point, everyone's stories seemed suspiciously incomplete, and anyone could be responsible in the eyes of detectives. Investigators started realizing that Amber's murder might be far more complicated than they initially thought. So, to investigate these disturbing possibilities, police knew they'd soon need to sit down with Amber's family and carefully interview each member to uncover who might be hiding something. But before doing that, officers needed to finish one crucial step: a final, thorough search of the Zotto home, carefully looking for any signs of violence or attempted cover-up. And sure enough, it didn't take long before they started noticing blood spatter throughout the house.
So a lot of these carpet pieces now, I wonder if the carpet went all the way back. Or, I mean, I didn't see like spatter.
I know, right?
So the book was right here. There was space open with the last page showing.
So we have a other like whole note. Keith, I never in my life thought I would find someone like you who loved me for all my faults. I know when I got pregnant with Annabelle, there were many times when you shown what? Anyways, I knew I was super crazy and I didn't want to accept what was happening. But when she came out, everything changed. I realized our love made a person, and even though you may think I regret getting pregnant, I don't.
And that bill was on top of it. No red pen. Get blood on the light switch. We've got a lot of blood on the sink.
Basically, the crime happened all throughout the house. So, indeed, there was a fight. A very bloody fight. Or, it could be that when he shot her, but I'm not sure where he shot her yet. Because it's not like a stab wound where someone is like grabbing at stuff or this or that. It was a shot. It was a gunshot wound.
Yeah. So
let's find out more details.
We left it the way we found it as well too. You know, the way the door was when we searched. But yeah, she found a little bit of obvious blood in the kitchen and the sink as well too. So.
Within minutes, officers found clear evidence that something violent had occurred before Amber's body ended up in the trash can. Their first sign that foul play was likely involved. Additionally, the Major Crimes Unit documented critical forensic evidence, including the silver revolver found over Amber's concealed body, blood spatter around the trash can, and debris deliberately placed to hide her remains. Despite these findings pointing towards foul play, detectives still needed clarity on whether Amber's death was a premeditated act or the result of a heated argument that spiraled violently out of control. But they had two major issues preventing them from answering this crucial question. First, Keith was nowhere to be seen, and his phone had gone completely unreachable. Second, and most important,
bro turned into a real life ghost. Location unknown, phone turned off. Next thing you know, we're hearing rumors or whatever about how he's planning to catch a plane ticket to Mexico, or looking up countries that US don't extradite to go there. Bro, they're gonna find you.
detectives had yet to determine exactly who was responsible, because at this point, several people remained under suspicion.
And everybody, even the kids, are suspects. Yep, this is how these stuff go.
Including Amber's mother and even her own children. Police didn't know it yet, but in the coming hours, these questions would be fully answered, and the case would take a completely unexpected turn. So, to fill in these gaps, all of Amber's closest family members were transported to the police station for questioning. Detectives hoped they could uncover each member's...
Bro, this is the father too? So the mother and the father, they must not love this girl. Or it's total shock. Bro, this is weird. Very,
potential
very
motives,
weird.
credibility, and who was hiding secrets. And finally reveal who might actually be responsible for Amber's murder.
I don't want to falsely alarm you, but I also believe in being as honest as we can with loved ones. We may have found Amber.
No.
Yeah, but we're not completely sure yet, Ron.
I take it back. Emotions are coming out. And it is sad. You never want to lose a loved one, man. Yeah.
Just do it.
We're not pointing fingers or making accusations at this time, but is there any reason Keith would hurt her?
I don't know. I really don't. I wish I could tell you more. I don't.
Either accidentally or intentionally, would he hurt or kill her? If he were to mistreat her, would she protect him?
She probably would.
So I went out there and I seen the...
Are you really going to miss this?
We do this training once a year. There's 800,000 to 1 million people that'll join us, and it's an opportunity for you at absolute
letter, or it was a 4.5-page note. And it's very important. I looked in that trash bin.
Okay.
It had an ungodly trash odor, honestly. But I tried to, there's some carpet squares were on the top. I tried to lift up, make sure there was nothing under it. Not that, I don't know what I was expecting, but I did. So I absolutely looked in that bin. And that'll be important. And didn't see anything, and I went out.
Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, the fighting and what do you know why?
Yeah, I do know why.
Okay.
My mom cheats on my dad, and like she's not good at it, I guess. And, like,
Yo, this kid is funny. She's like, my mom cheats on my dad, which the police already know already. Like, Keith himself told them. And, she's not really good at it. So, he found out and, like, bro. Again, this is very dysfunctional. They live in one home, but it's very dysfunctional. Even for the kids to grow up. Imagine having your daughter. She looks like she's from the ages probably anywhere like 11 to 16, 17, thereabout. Having your daughter being interrogated for a murder of her own mother. And the father, her herself, the brother, basically the family member, are the suspects. Like, dysfunctional. And a part of her giving her testimony is that her mom is a very bad cheater. So already the daughter has a bad example of what it is like to be a woman. Or how to treat a man you claim you love. But then again, we don't know if the note is her.
so he finds out, and then they just go at it because she like tries to lie about it.
Okay.
Like he has evidence of her doing it, and so like it's like, yeah.
Okay. And the last Saturday is in just a couple days ago?
Yeah, last Friday was the last time I seen her.
Okay. Did you talk to her at all on the phone or anything?
No, she came over for dinner because my grandma was cooking dinner and she came over and we had dinner and then she left and then, yeah.
And then you were there
From
Saturday.
Friday all the way to Sunday.
Okay.
After speaking with Amber's family, investigators finally had some clarity. Betty remained adamant she'd checked that trash can that morning, insisting the gun and Amber's body weren't there, which made her case seem more suspicious. Meanwhile, Amber's father, Ronald, was shocked by his daughter's death and found it was hard to believe Keith was capable of harming her. As for Amber's children, Annabelle explained they'd both been staying at their grandparents' house during the weekend, clarifying why they didn't hear the gunshot that ended their mother's life. However, Annabelle's unusual calmness and detailed awareness of her parents' unstable marriage raised some concerns about exactly what else the children might know or could still be protecting. After concluding the interviews, investigators were preparing to search for Keith Zotto, the
Still
one
not
critical piece still missing.
Still can't be
But just
found.
before they could act, they received unexpected news from Keith's sister, Susan Russ. It turns out Keith had visited her just hours earlier, and what he confessed would finally expose the horrifying truth behind Amber's murder.
I saw my brother park up there, and so I got the dogs out. And I didn't know the front door was open, and he just came in, and I seen it on his face, and he goes, "You know, I don't hate you." That was the first thing out of his mouth. And I said, "I know, I love you. You're my best friend."
Okay.
And then I said, "It's Amber that's trying to keep us apart."
Okay.
And he just looked at me and started crying. And I said, "Oh my God, what did you do?"
Okay.
And I asked him if Amber was okay. And then he looked at me and he said, "You know what? I don't remember anything."
Okay.
I just remember waking up and seeing her on the ground.
Okay.
I asked him what the hell happened to tell me what he did.
Okay.
He said they'd been drinking and fighting all night.
Okay.
It was over money, I guess. Keith
No one
opened
wins
some
in
bills
this
and found out
situation.
that the house had been foreclosed on.
Okay.
Families are
Yeah,
gonna
Amber
lose
pulled out
family
the
members
gun.
on either side because someone is going to go to
He
jail.
hit my brother
We have
with it.
kids
And Keith said he
They're
took it
gonna
away.
grow up without a
And
mother.
It just happened like
We
that. He
have
said he
parents
blinked his
that
eyes.
lost
And that was it.
their child.
I blinked my eyes too, and I opened
Sisters
them and
crying
I stayed her
because
on the ground.
worrying if her
Susan's
brother
testimony finally cleared
killed
up everything
her
for
sister-in-law.
investigators. Keith himself admitted he'd woken up from a blackout to find Amber dead and openly acknowledged a violent confrontation that spiraled completely out of control. It was now clearer than ever that Keith Zotto was at the heart of Amber's murder, and it was time to track him down. Just a couple of hours after detectives left Susan's house, Aurora police received a call they never expected. Keith Zotto had surfaced at his sister's house again, ready to surrender. By now, officers knew Keith had already killed once, and for all they knew, he was still armed and dangerous. So they came prepared. A SWAT team descended upon the location, ready to take Keith down if he made even the slightest wrong move.
It's got to be up one more.
It's this one, right?
7-9.
7-9 is this one.
All right. Sorry. Ready? Watch out, Bubba.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app and
Show me your hands!
Front door. Ma'am, come to me.
Going out.
I see him. I see him. Come to me.
Going out. Turn right.
Point to me. Come to me.
I got a guy out.
I know bro is scared as hell. Bro is like, yo, like the whole SWAT team, the black hats came out, rifles, M16s all at you. Bro is shitting his pants. I know, bro. I know, bro, for a fact. Bro is shitting his pants.
Hands up. Everybody hands up, please. Very good. Walk to my voice. Go hands on.
Stop. Just shoot.
Just walk towards me, nice and easy.
Okay? All right. We'll talk to you in a... No, we're not. We're not going to hurt him. Okay? Walk towards me. No. Just keep walking. Walk towards this guy.
Very good. You good, man. Very good. Very good. Very good. Right here. There you go. Sit right there, man. Yes, sir.
They wanted to pin his ass down. And you can tell the guy that says that was on some demon time that day. Was like, yo, we're gonna pin him down. Like, bro, the man hand was literally like this. What could he have done? And this man wanted to tackle him and pin him down. When you say menace, bro, the cop that said that is a menace.
Long guns. Yeah, feel free to go ahead of me here.
Hold on. It all looks normal.
Bro, if you just want to hold it, I'll be back with you.
You guys good?
Is that your mom, and who else is the other lady? Gotcha. Okay, man. Very good. We appreciate you coming out, bud. We'll explain it all to you, okay?
I already know.
What? Bro, are cops this nice when they're detaining people? Bro, he's like, yo, appreciate it, bud. Thank you for coming out. Like, bro, this is a very serious situation you're talking about. Thank you for coming out. Like, really? Like, are they this nice?
Okay, buddy. Okay. Okay, there you go.
Remember, but
Finally, after hours of uncertainty, Keith Zotto surrendered to Aurora police without incident. He was immediately taken into custody and formally processed for the murder of his wife, Amber. Keith would go on to admit to killing Amber late Saturday night, claiming his gun accidentally went off during a drunken argument over money and infidelity. Though he insisted he couldn't remember placing her body in the trash or concealing the crime, Keith accepted responsibility for her death. However, Betty's earlier statement surrounding the infamous trash can remained unclear, and investigators were never able to determine why she didn't see the gun or Amber's body that morning. In May of 2021, Keith Zotto was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
No one wins in a situation like this. As I said, sister, we're gonna see her brother behind bars for the rest of her life. Mother and a father lost their child. And two children, young children, are gonna grow up without a mother and a father. Guys, stop letting sympathies win. Stuff like this. Before you do it, think. What about my child? What about my mother? What about my aunt? What about my sister? Cousins, brothers, niece? But hey, he's not the first. He's not going to be the last. And trust me, it does go the other way too. Where women kill men. And I'm talking at high rates, rapid rates. So, sympathitis runs both ways. Well, I'm just talking to us men. Because it was a man that did it. Yeah. Again, no one wins in situations like this. But we can take this as a learning lesson to be better. To not let sympathitis win. Peace.